Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 26th of June 2024. Let's start with our session. The first question is, which ministry recently launched the first National Additive Manufacturing Symposium 2024? This is Ministry of Electronics and IT. They have inaugurated the first National Additive Manufacturing Symposium 2024, emphasizing India's commitment to the advanced manufacturing. And Secretary of Ministry of Electronics and IT, who is it? Mr. S. Krishnan. He released an additive manufacturing landscape report and unveiled an indigenous AM machine. Okay, so this symposium highlighted India's AM ecosystem, building on the 2022 National Strategy for Additive Manufacturing. Diverse stakeholders, including the industry leaders and the government representatives who participated, and it underscores a collaborative approach to advancing the AM technologies in India. Okay, so Ministry of Electronics and IT have launched the first National Additive Manufacturing Symposium 2024. Next is, which state or the union territory recently organized the Hemis Festival 2024? So Hemis Festival is celebrated by Tibetan Buddhism people, and it occurs annually in Ladakh. In 2024, it's celebrated on 16th and 17th of June. So it is known as Hemis Sechu. It commemorates Guru Padma Sambhava's birth anniversary, and this is a 2-day event which fills Hemis Monastery, which is the Ladakh's largest Buddhist monastery, with vibrant colors, music and spiritual energy, making it a significant cultural celebration. Okay, so the Ladakh has organized the Hemis Festival 2024. Next question is, Fire Dragon 480 recently seen in the news is a tactical ballistic missile of which country? Here answer would be China, that is C option. Actually, a PLA study claims the China's Fire Dragon 480 missile can sink a US cruiser in the Red Sea. So this is a 750 mm tactical ballistic missile which was made by the Norinco group, and it basically features precision guidance sensors and a high-speed launch platform with a warhead of over 400 kgs and having an impact velocity of over 500 meters per second. It can destroy a 10,000 tons of cruiser with 2 hits. So it was adopted in the year 2019, and it has a range exceeding 500 kilometers. Okay, so Fire Dragon 480 is a tactical ballistic missile of China country. Now next is Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is an artificial intelligence model recently seen in the news, is developed by which company? Here answer is D option, Anthropic. Anthropic has launched their latest AI model named as Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is the part of upcoming Claude 3.5 series. This large language model excels in visual reasoning. It outperforms previous models like Claude 3 Opus, and Claude 3.5 Sonnet is noted for its speed, visual data analysis and accurate transcription of imperfect images. It sets new benchmarks in coding proficiency, reasoning and knowledge. Also, it excels in writing high quality relatable content. Okay, so this is an artificial intelligence model of Anthropic company. Now, can you tell me which organization has recently released the State of Global Air Report 2024? So it has been released by Health Effects Institute, and in this report it was said that air pollution is the second leading global risk factor for death, and it causes non-communicable diseases like heart diseases and the lung cancer, with 8.1 million deaths in 2021. So India and China accounted for 54% of the global air pollution disease burden. In 2021, air pollution caused 1,69,400 child deaths in India and 2,37,000 100,000 chronic obstructive pulmonary disease deaths. Okay, simply we have to remember that this state of global air report has been released by Health Effects Institute. Okay, the next question is, recently the National Human Rights Commission issued a notice to which state government on custodial death row? So NHRC means National Human Rights Commission issued a notice to the Odisha government over unpaid compensation for a custodial death. From 2017 to 2022, India reported over 660 custodial deaths, with Gujarat having the highest deaths at 80. Okay. Constitutional safeguards include Articles 14 and 21, while the legal safeguards encompasses Section 330, 331 IPC and 176 CRPC. So NHRC guidelines and Supreme Court rulings further protect the detainees, ensuring kind of prompt reporting and proper arrest procedures basically. Okay. So National Human Rights Commission has issued a notice to the Odisha state government on custodial death row. Which organization recently released the statistical report on value of output from agriculture and allied sectors 2011 to 12 to 2022 to 23? This is National Statistics Office, that is B option. They have released the statistical report on value of output from agriculture and allied sectors, and key highlights include the 18.2% share of agriculture of GVA in 2022 to 23. Subsector contributions are, for example, crop, that is 54.3%, livestock accounts for 30.9%, then there is forestry with 7.9%, fishing accounts for 6.9%. So from this time period, means 2011 to 12 up to 2022 to 23, the share of crop has declined from 62.4% to what value? 54.3%. And the livestock, forestry and fishing output has increased significantly. Okay, simply we have to remember that this report has been released by National Statistics Office. Okay, the next question is, which firm has recently joined the low methane rice project to promote the direct seeded rice in Uttar Pradesh? Here answer is Kisan Craft Limited. They have joined the low methane rice project under UP Pragati Accelerator programs to promote the direct seeded rice in Uttar Pradesh. It is basically an initiative by the World Bank's 2030 Water Resource Group. Okay, so it aims to enhance the agricultural practices and boost incomes by promoting the water use efficiency and low carbon methods. It was launched by Uttar Pradesh multi-stakeholder platform, and it is supported by 2030 WRG and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Okay, so Kisan Craft Limited has joined the low methane rice project so as to promote the direct seeded rice in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Now apart from it, according to the Global Gas Flaring Tracker, which is released by World Bank, gas flaring has reached 148 billion cubic meters in 2023, which is the highest since 2019. So what is gas flaring? It is the burning of natural gas during oil extraction, and it persists due to market constraints, regulatory issues and political factors. Although flaring safely disposes of gas, but it wastes a valuable resource that could be used for power generation or conservation. Okay, you can be asked that Global Gas Flaring Tracker Report 2024 is released by which organization? Answer is World Bank. Okay, the next question is, recently the world's oldest termite mound discovered in which country? Answer is D option, South Africa. Scientists have discovered the world's oldest inhabited termite mounds in South Africa, and these mounds host the southern harvester termite. Also, radiocarbon dating reveals organic carbon dating back 13,000 to 19,000 years ago, and carbonate dating up to 34,000 years. These mounds are the oldest, with both organic and the inorganic carbon, which is formed during a wetter climate that allowed the minerals like calcite and gypsum to dissolve, enriching the groundwater. Okay, so the world's oldest termite mound has been discovered in South Africa. Now there is one more ministry that is in news these days. This is Ministry of Home Affairs. So Union Home Minister has inaugurated the fast track e-migration trusted traveler program at Indira Gandhi International Airport. Okay, so this initiative by the central government aims to expedite the immigration clearance for pre-verified travelers, reducing the airport congestion, and for this purpose they have collaborated with Ministry of Civil Aviation and Bureau of Immigration. Okay, it mirrors the US Global Entry Program. It is implemented in multiple Indian cities and it includes the e-gates for seamless clearance in 2 phases, starting with Indian citizens and the OCI cardholders. Okay, so you can be asked that recently which ministry has inaugurated the fast track immigration trusted traveler program. Answer would be Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, next question is, which day is observed as World Hydrography Day every year? Answer is 21st of June. Okay, and it is led by International Hydrographic Organization since 1921. It coordinates the global efforts to survey and chart the seas, oceans and the navigable waters. Fine. So with 100 member states, it promotes the uniformity in nautical charts and best practices. India, which is a member since 1955, operates the Indian Naval Hydrographic Department in Kolkata, and this year we focused on enhancing the marine safety, efficiency and sustainability. Okay, so World Hydrography Day is observed every year on 21st of June. How many candidates from 2024 Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections have requested verification of the burnt memory in the EVMs and the VVPAT units? So for the very first time, 11 candidates from the 2024 Lok Sabha and the State Assembly elections requested verification of the burnt memory of EVMs and the VVPATs. This option is provided by the Supreme Court in April and it requires the candidates to cover the verification cost, and it is refundable if tampering is found. Fine. So burnt memory basically refers to the permanent storage in these devices which contains the votes, machine configuration and printed vote records for integrity verification. Fine. So 11 candidates from the 2024 Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections have requested verification of the burnt memory in the EVMs and the VVPAT units. The next question is, recently the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship collaborated with which country to energize the agriculture sector of India with emerging skills? So Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship along with Australian government held a round table to review the Australia-India Critical Agriculture Skills Pilot Project. Okay. So it is led by Shri Atul Kumar Tiwari and Mr. Matthew Johnson. The discussion focused on scaling and replicating the initiative. Representatives from Indian Council of Agricultural Research, NSDC, and different organizations have attended. The project was initiated in last year in the month of March, and it identified 5 critical agriculture job roles through extensive consultations with 89 experts from 64 organizations. Fine. So your correct answer is C option, Australia. Next is, recently which institute's researchers have fabricated a novel device to convert infrared light into the visible light? So researchers at Indian Institute of Science developed a device that converts infrared light into visible light, potentially revolutionizing the defense and optical communications, and it uses a 2D material. They created a non-linear optical mirror stack for up conversion and wide field imaging. So this technology employs multi-layered gallium selenide on a gold reflective surface with a silicon dioxide layer, and it simplifies the complex infrared imaging techniques. Fine. So your correct answer is A option, Institute of Science. The next question is, Space Variable Objects Monitor Satellite recently seen in the news is a joint project of which 2 countries? Here answer is France and China, that is C option. Recently a Long March 2C rocket has launched the French-Chinese satellite SPOM from China's Shenzhou Satellite Launch Center, and it weighs 930 kilograms. It aims to detect and study the gamma rays burst from an orbit over 600 kilometers above Earth. It is equipped with the instruments from both nations and it has a designed life of 5 years, but it could operate up to 20 years. So gamma ray burst originating from stellar explosions offer insights into the cosmic evolution by studying the light's journey through space. Okay, so this satellite is a joint project of France and China. Now these days Baltic Sea is in news. You can be asked that Baltic Sea, which is seen in the news, is located in which region? So answer should be Northern Europe. Okay, let me tell you why Baltic Sea came into news. Actually, researchers have found that a significant portion of methane gas released from the ruptured Nord Stream pipelines in the Baltic Sea last September did not reach the atmosphere. Okay, methane, as we know, is a primary component of natural gas and it contributes significantly to the global warming. Baltic Sea is a semi-enclosed sea in the northern Europe and it connects several countries and it plays a vital role in regional and international maritime trade and transportation. Okay, so Baltic Sea is located in northern Europe. It is in news due to Nord Stream pipeline. Fine. Now last question is, recently which state government has introduced the first AI based smart fence project named as Elephence to reduce the human wildlife conflict? So Elephence project is India's first artificial intelligence based smart fence which is being deployed in Wayanad in the state of Kerala to mitigate human wildlife conflict. Primarily it involves the elephants. It is implemented by White Elephant Technologies and the Kerala Forest Department. Basic aim here is to prevent the crop loss and casualties caused by elephants encroaching on human habitat. So human wildlife conflict escalate because human populations grow and encroach into animal habitats. Obviously it affects the biodiversity and the local economies as well. Elephant seeks to protect both wildlife and human livelihood in the affected areas. Fine. So Kerala state government has introduced the first AI based smart fence project named as Elephence to reduce human wildlife conflict. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. Before winding, let me tell you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today's Android application. So if you want the PDF of this lecture, you can subscribe to that course. Fine. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu Hadsana signing off.